Oh my god, that voice.
He's a kid. Do you want his voice to be deep or something?
Bakugo is clearly a villain in his early days, and yet would go on to get into the most prestigious hero academy in the world. Do the schools not have any records of this?
Him being a bully does not make him a villain. That's like saying, if someone is a bully, they shouldn't be allowed to be a police officer, as they're a criminal. You see how that doesn't work?
That's racist.
Wait, how is it racist? They're all the same race, and if you're referring to them being mean as he has no quirk, wouldn't that just be quirkist? Or something along those lines?
What the hell is this guy's quirk? Growing throwing stars out of his fucking head?
Looks don't determine one's quirk 100% of the time, and sinning character design.
They're not exactly the next X-Men, and yet all of them would go on to laugh at Midoriya.
They probably pick on Midoriya because they're self-conscious of their quirks, and this is going to sound horrible, but he is the minority, so picking on him would be easy.
He actually said they all want to become heroes and said they all have impressive quirks, so that makes you a dick for not listening properly.
Bakugo said that because to him, the rest of the class doesn't have impressive or amazing quirks in his eyes. That's why he doesn't want to be lumped up with them.
Clearly they don't teach math at this school, because an 0.2% acceptance rate means that 0.2% of people get to go into the school. Thus it's not impossible.
It's called exaggeration. Obviously, it's not impossible. For the average person with a quirk, it would seem to be.
That's called a threat, not advice.
Almost like that's the point of the scene, to show how Bakugo is a douche.
So that's racist.
How is this racist though?
That is f***ing gross.
Well, what do you expect for it to be? A nice and clean process?
That's racist.
It's really not. No one knows All Might's true identity, so of course he'll assume that's an imposter.
Star Wars.
Making a reference.
Bakugo's still a dick.
That's the point of Bakugo during the early seasons.
So then why was his predecessor not known worldwide for having the same abilities as All Might before his time?
Because people wouldn't question it. People can have the same quirk.
Rocky montage.
Making another reference.
Why are you supposed to be the first student from the school to get into UA? Was this like a prophecy when you were born or something?
It's called a superiority complex.
No, he's just an asshole is all.
Do you still not understand that it's quite literally the point of his character?
Confidence issues.
Can you blame him? He's been bullied his entire life.
That's racist.
He isn't wrong though. Not every man is born equally.
Young flashback Bakugo lives up to the title of being a dick.
Please just say you don't understand the point of Bakugo's character.
Because he's a dick.
That's the point. I'm getting sick of this. As a bet, I guarantee you'll mention him being a douche again. If you do, I'll give you 500 sins. If you don't, I'll remove every single sin.
Giant man-sized finger with a wig stands in for background character.
Your bad joke isn't a sin of the anime, and I'll add 5 sins on top of the other sin for sinning character design.
USB earlobes.
Pointing out the obvious.
After having done a significant amount of in-depth analysis and research, I can reveal All Might's close friend is in fact Saitama. Okay?
6 sins, 5 for the reference, and the other one for sinning the anime for your joke.
Caterpillar Man Part 2, The Caterpillar Strikes Back.
5 sins for the reference.
That's racist.
Mentioning someone wearing glasses isn't racist.
Caterpillar Man Part 3, Return of the Caterpillar.
5 sins for another reference.
That's a very nice iPad.
Your bad jokes aren't a sin of the anime.
Saitama.
Another 5 sins for a reference. This might be a record.
Bakugo's still a dick.
It almost seemed like you weren't going to sin him for being a douche again, but alas, you have. So all these 500 sins you have earned.
He's a real hands-on kind of guy.
This also might be a record for you making jokes that you use to sin the anime for some reason.
Video game reference.
You are not being serious. You make references all the time.
Video game reference number 2.
You shouldn't be allowed to sin anime for doing the things you do.
Video game reference number 3.
You're being a hypocrite.
Video game reference number 4. PS4.
Saying all of that for you still being a hypocrite.